Interest rates have been on the rise. They're at 7% for a mortgage. And Jerome Powell and his cronies, who are completely separate from the United States of America's government, these guys with their central banks are in control of the economy. What they say goes. What they do happens. Action, reaction. He's already come out and said 2 more times. Now he says 2 or more times they are going to raise interest rates this year. And we're already now in July. We're on the, my nose itches. We're on the second half of 23 because you got 12 months. There's a year and a half I'm going to talk about, but you got 12 months. You got 3 6-month periods, several quarters, month to month, week to week. It's all going to start to come in, and a little faster than you've been witnessing. Most people have been witnessing like a confusion, like where is it? Where's the? I see the inflation, but where's this recession? People are still buying and doing, and houses are expensive and all that. Well, here's what's going to happen: a culmination, like they've always been talking about. This bubble has gotten so taut that it's going to pop, and it needs to pop, folks. It needs to pop. I need relief. You need relief. Even rich people need relief. So here's kind of some of the nitroglycerin that's going to make it explode. You guys have been hearing about the student loan debt. Did you know it's close to $2 trillion in money that's owed by 44 million people? So the Supreme Court said that they can't get out of it, they got to pay it. However you feel about they should, they shouldn't, half of it should be forgiven. Who doesn't like free money? I like free money. But they have to pay it. So I guess the administration already had plan B if the courts wouldn't just forgive the debt. So what the administration tried to do is forget the whole Democrat system that we have and bring things to the chamber of the House and the Senate and vote on things. They wanted to leapfrog right over that, go right to the Supreme Court and ask them if they would just, make it, where they people didn't have to pay for this money. They haven't paid for 3 years, and no interest has been accrued either. So they've already took that $300-400 a month that they pay, what the payments are, and bought new cars, bought a house, spending it on something else. But that discretionary money is, over. They have to now start making these loans. But when the court said that it's not, they have to pay it. I'll get this out in a minute. It's early in the morning. Right away, the administration came out with some new rules yesterday saying, nope, you don't. If you don't make your first payment, if you don't make so much money, all these reasons, if you qualify for that, don't worry about it. And the loan will be forgiven or come off your credit if you don't pay for it in 10 years instead of 20 years. So they come out with all these new things like almost immediately the next day after the Supreme Court's ruling, defending and helping those people. They're like, oh my gosh, I got to pay. Where am I going to get this money? I might lose my job. I'm already, used to not paying that. I put that payment towards my credit cards. I started charging up stuff. I got all this money I owe on my credit card. I got a car, and now you want me to pay that money? Oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm going to get the money. And my pay didn't go up. So the administration is trying to find some relief for these people, and they're saying, look, if you don't pay it, don't worry, it's not going to affect your credit. Number one, because if you don't pay student loans, you get bad credit. And if you miss that first payment and you get a ding on your credit, and when things start to come down, which I'm going to get to in a minute, you're going to have an issue getting a mortgage because you're going to have a credit issue. And mortgages, they don't play that game where, we'll overlook that little thing. If you don't pay that collection off, you don't get approved. It used to be you had to do all that. They might work around some things now because everything's different. But they're going to get out of it. Everybody, these 44 million people, the government says, look, if we've got 44 million people that don't have $300-$500 a month to pay their student loans, and they don't have that money to go spend in the economy, and they start defaulting and they lose their jobs, which a lot of them don't even have a job, the economy is going to be in the tank. So they're trying to do everything they can, just like they did during the pandemic, and print 10 trillion, 6 trillion, whatever it was, trillions of dollars. And that will, keep this thing going, man, because we just can't have a recession. We just can't let winter come in. We have to just keep our zombie businesses and our crony friends and the stock market and all these things. We got to just keep pumping it up, just keep inflating it artificially. But it's coming to a head. Nothing's sustainable. If I go to the gym, you put a 10-pound weight in my hand, I can hold it a lot longer than I can a 50-pound weight. But eventually, it's going to get pretty tiring, and my arm is going to drop. It's just the way it is. So 44 million people got to start paying student loans. A lot of them are going to, a lot of them aren't. There's going to be a lot of windows and cracks for those that don't have a lot of money, that aren't working to get out of it. So it is going to be like 44 million all at once are going to start paying and hurt the economy. Two, the Fed, I mentioned earlier, is raising the rates 2 and even more times. So you can look for probably another rate increase every month probably through this year, which will absolutely cause houses to come down in price, will cause the stock market to start to drop in value, the NASDAQ and the rest. Zillow is reporting nationwide people making 21% less profit in their investment properties. And they have 1 million homes and condos and different properties. So they're going to start renting them year round to locals, which means they're not going to get that crazy rent that they get on a daily rate and a few days or a weekly rate like they do. Look, I'm at the beach. I can't find a parking spot because I made a liar out of myself. Here's one right here. They can't rent them because people don't have discretionary money right now. And the profit margin is 21 to 50% lower than it was. Let's go out on the beach. I'll be right back. All right, I got a parking spot right here. I'm at Delray Beach. Let's walk out here. There's a little area right here where you can go out. I think parking starts at 7 a.m.
8.
Oh, it's 8 today? Really?
Yeah, every week starts today. Every day.
That's great news. Free parking. Another blessing. Look, guys. There's the sunrise. Let me show it to you. You like that? Let's go on down here and I'll turn around so you can see it. Oh no, I'm walking with my new shoes on the sand. Not that smart. Okay, so that means mortgage rates, which are now 7%, are going to be north of that. So already houses aren't selling because of course, the high mortgage rate. Let me turn this around for you guys. Isn't that beautiful? Hopefully you can see it. Look at all the people that come out in the morning that like the sunrise. Some even got a blanket out here. It's soaking wet on these chairs. I'll sit on it. I'll stand here. Let me get that for you guys. There we go. So let's chat. these mortgage rates are going to be so high. Houses are $450,000 to $600,000. I think the national average is like 450. I think there's 600 here in South Florida. 600 million. This is mortgage rates. Okay, there's a shortage of houses, yes, but now there's not going to be, because Airbnb is going to put they got 1 million houses. They're going to go on the market very quickly, either for sale. That's going to increase the housing market. They're going to rent them. That's going to increase rentals and make rental prices come down. They're building like crazy, single-family homes everywhere. So more homes are going to be finished soon. And the builders are getting very creative with the mortgage companies on selling those. They're doing these programs where they're giving you money and doing some kind of an adjustable rate mortgage I've read about, where the rate will be a couple of points below what it is now, go up 1 point next year and 1 point the next year, back to the moon, where your payment's going to go really, really high, but they're betting that the rates will be down in 3 years and then you can just refinance. Well, that's a real gamble there. So what will have to happen? There's option A, that the rates can come down. Not going to happen. Not going to happen for a long time. They've already said to get inflation down and to break things, and that's what we need things to do. We need things broken. To break things and bring things down to realistic, houses, cars, food, all of these things, there has to be a breaking of all these things. So they're going to break them, and things are going to come down because the rates aren't going to come down. That's why they're keeping them high and for a long time. So houses are going to have to drop. And when one person does it and 10 people do it and 1,000 people do it, who are you to hold out for your big price? So houses, if you want to sell, you're going to have to come down. Now, let's say you don't want to sell and you get one of those 2% mortgage. Here's a really good deal for you that I found out about. You can go to some mortgage companies, and if you've got $20,000, $30,000 or $40,000 laying around and you want to apply that to your principal of your home instead of just continue making your high payments that you're doing now with your low interest rate, and trying to get your mortgage paid sooner than 30 years by adding additional money occasionally, a couple times a year or whatever, to your principal. What mortgage companies are doing to help people, because the property taxes and the insurance is so high, say here in Florida, that even if you got a 0% mortgage, it still costs a fortune because they keep raising the taxes. So, and the insurance. So you can take that 30 or 40 grand that you might have considered buying another investment property with and apply that to your principal, and they'll what do they call that? Well, they recalculate your loan, and you don't lose your interest rate. You just get a new payment, which is lower. And I don't even think they stretch it out to 30 years again. It's just they apply it all to the principal now. You'll still have the months remaining, if you've already been making payments for 5 or 8 years. So that's cool. That's kind of a good deal, because why not put it in a property that you plan on keeping or you want to get paid off and get your payment down so you can stay in your home at your low interest rate? You got to have a roof over your head. And, instead of buying another investment property that you can't afford, that's not making a profit. That's what I want to go back to, the Airbnb. You see, when they have a 21% to a 50% loss in profits from their cap rate, that's what they call their profit margin, that, they got all this money invested in these investment properties, and they're only coming out with about a 3%, profit. You can buy a CD for 5%. You can buy bonds, treasury bond, and yield more than that. So, and with no risk. So why have an investment property? So you see, it's a squeeze play. It's all these things are coming to culmination to put more inventory on the market, to bring prices down, to bring more available properties so that rents will come down. They're going to have all these apartments built and everything. You're going to see. So what does that mean about Social Security is going to go further? Well, as things come down, and a lot of people that do rent or want to buy, there's an opportunity that your dollars, all of our dollars, are going to go further because there's going to be this new regrowth of anybody that has any money right now saved and socked away, you're going to be in good shape. You're going to be in about 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, when all these things come down, there's going to be so many opportunities starting to pop up, and they will be nabbed up too, because just like any time when there's a good deal for something, it gets taken. But right now there are no good deals. All the good deals were gone. They snatched them all up. All the investment people, and the Airbnb bought 1 million homes. That's what caused a lot of it. What caused the market to go up real expensive, and to make a shortage of houses. There was no risk, and they got those loans with what I explained in a video before. It wasn't based on a regular mortgage. If you get an Airbnb investment, you go down to the bank. They don't even check your credit that much. They don't even verify your income. If you can present to the bank that it's an investment property and there's a good return, and the bank says, hey, we're gonna make money because the rate wasn't really that great, and you can show a profit and you're gonna make money, they give the loan. The catch is the bank, to have a little more security, is you had to have 20 or 25% down. It's a lot of money. So people that did have money but had lower credit score, or their income wasn't verifiable or that good, they could still make money. So these smart investing people that, figured ways to make money in this crazy thing that happened after the pandemic did so. I couldn't even spell Airbnb 10 years ago. I never heard of such, but I never stayed in one either. So there's that. Then the gold thing, and then the stock market, people were putting money in, and they were getting this money. Mostly the people that had businesses that were barely existing anyway. They were like a zombie business. I look like a zombie anyway. It's so early in the morning. I got that glaucoma. I put my eye drops in. I apologize. I got some money, but I was a little entrepreneurial, sole proprietor, gig worker, and I didn't even ask for it. I was happy doing what I was doing, but it became very popular on YouTube, on the news. You could get this loan, you could get this money, and all this stuff. And there's only like 1,000 people that's been arrested out of the thousands, maybe the millions, that stole money. They took this money from the government, and they didn't put it back in their business. They didn't give it to employees to keep them employed, which is what it was for, the PPP money. They just pocketed it, went and bought a Ferrari, and nobody's been arrested yet. Like a handful. So the chickens are coming home to roost. Hopefully they'll get those people. But when they printed 6, 10, whatever it was, trillions and billions of dollars, the world changed, and everybody made a pocket full of money. A lot of people, and then everybody else that was just starting out, broke dicks. They had to suffer. We had to suffer. They were like, oh, your rent's going up $500. Oh, a loaf of bread's $5 now. Gas is $5, $6. And, you're squeezing yourself. People, got hungry, got thrown out of their apartments. They couldn't buy a car when their car broke down because the greedy dealerships were saying there was no cars and we need to make, the moon on you. And nobody had any sympathy. It was all about money, 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 money. Well, guess what? The good Lord's coming down. The good Lord's going to change it all. And he let it get to the point where it is. And he knows that, when the best time is to pull the trigger and to change things, and where it's going to hurt those the least. And those that are going to take a hit, they're going to be okay because they got all this money. They're going to lose a lot. If you keep your money in the stock market and this thing happens, you're going to lose a lot. So you go around bragging about all this great 401 and money you've got in the stock market or in gold and all these things. If they come down, if there's a correction, and there's a cash contraction going on right now, they're pulling cash right out of our economy and burning it because they're trying. That's the goal of the feds is to fix this situation. There's no longer a pandemic. 37% of all businesses in America are making less and struggling. So these are the things that you don't hear that you know, some of the media talks about, you know, a bull market, a bull run, and we're going to have a soft landing. There's not going to be any recession. We're going to get through it. And then, you know, you got the doomsayers too that talk about, oh, the world's going to end, you know, it's going to be so terrible. I say it like this. We're going to have the winter that's long overdue and bring new growth for all the young people, for all the people on limited incomes, for all the people on Social Security. And there's going to be opportunities for you to travel again. Fuel will come down in price. Everything's going to be, when there's a situation like that, and there's just not money falling out of the sky, yeah, you'll be able to hook up your RV and travel the country again. Go to the national parks, go to the state parks, do all the things we did 10 years ago that, you know, we took for granted, that was just great. You know, I just can't wait. So I'm sitting in my little camper right now, and I'm listening. I got my ear to the ground. I know some things are going to be coming, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm excited for you guys too, because I know that things are tough. What do you think about this beautiful Delray Beach, Florida right here? Let's look down this way a little bit. The ocean is so calming with the waves lapping up on the beach. Red sky in morning, sailor take warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Oh, possibly some rain today. Red sky in the morning. Pretty nonetheless. Not quite as hot right now as it will be later, for sure. It's been insane. So it was kind of a rambling video there about everything, but believe me, I believe that these things are going to come to fruition. They keep saying it will for the last 2 years, but things take time. When you print them trillions of dollars they did, and then, you know, we blew the balloon up, it's sustainable for quite a while when you print that kind of money. But now it's too taut, and it's going to pop. So let's walk on out of here back to my car. I couldn't believe that free parking till 8 a.m. I hope he's not lying to me. I remember it being 7 o'clock. I don't know. We'll find out. So the lifeguard here, he's lining up his umbrellas there. He's got them all in a row. You pay an hourly rate for these, and he'll put the chairs out. And all you do is just go sit down on one, and they'll see you, and they'll come over there. So I'm living on my Social Security. I got my little side hustles going. Things are fine. I don't have any debt. I'm living like a minimalist. I'm watching every dollar. And that's another thing. It's every dollar. It's not about just cutting a big bill out. It's the little ones that sneak up and bite you. You know, that frivolous $2 or $3 you spend 2 or 3 times a day. Throw that in a can instead of going, you know, and throwing it down at a convenience store or a gas station or Starbucks or something like that. For a month, just throw it in a can or match it, and you'll see how much that is. It's a lot. All right, guys. I don't think my shoes got too much sand on them. I'm gonna bang my feet here. What does it say? Please, God, don't let me get a ticket. You know how much it's like $2 or $3 to park, and if you get a ticket, it's like $60. There's a red Roadrunner. She's dirty, but it's been raining like every day, so I'm gonna have to do something soon. Beautiful here in Delray Beach. Morning.
Morning.
There's the ocean over here. There's this sidewalk here that I'm walking down. You could go forever. And then behind me, That's Atlantic Avenue. Good morning. Oh, my battery's dead. Gonna have to stop this one. We'll continue later. Crushing it.